Shakaga for Johnny Lana. I'm not in a hobo depot, and today we will be talking to two individuals that made some serious history, and one of them, a lot of y'all don't even know about. That would be this girl right here. This is a 2003, I think it is. Nope. This is a 2004. Probably the last ones made of the Fender Precision 5 Deluxe. Now, the first one that came out, let's take a look at it. The first ones that came out had 5 across the top. This one has 5, 4, and 1. And this one's very unique because they only made about 100 of these at the most, this color. This is a Precision Deluxe. What makes it a Deluxe, okay? What makes it so unique? First of all, the color. Second of all, this right here. The pickup in the back, Precision pickup in the front, the Fender amazing preamp, which has volume, blend, treble, bass, and then the mid cut, right? This one has 9 volts. Maple on rosewood, and of course the elephant tuners. Sorry to have it backwards, but that's what it was. All right. Then we're gonna talk about this girl. Let's look at this. This is a 1999. This is a 99 Deluxe. Okay. Of course, you can see there's something different with the pickups. Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about them later. But it has the John Shore preamp. This is the John Shore body. See how sleek it looks? See how small it looks? A lot smaller than a regular Jazz. The coolest thing about this one, it has 5 across the top, maple on maple neck, and maple on ash body. Everything is in this bass original set for those two girls right there. So the second thing we're going to talk about is the preamp, or the amp I'm coming through. All right, so the amp I decided to choose today is a PF 350. I wish I had a 500 because it talks a little different sometimes. But I'm using the old 110 with the horn loaded. 110 with the horn loaded. And to me, I never was, and I'm going to say this, I never was an Ampeg user. I thought they were too dark, personally, in my opinion. But from what I can hear now, the more you play them, the more they talk a little different than anything else. Back in the day, the SBT was the pro, all right? But they also have, got up to the times. Look, I said got up to the times. They have came up to the times and made the head smaller because, the SBT head was this big and weighed 423 pounds. And the SBT cab was 6 foot 9 inches. Look, 6 foot 9 inches, and they weighed 532 pounds apiece. No, I was joking, man. Y'all know I'm joking. All right, but anyway, they were heavy. You needed your mama, your aunt, and your uncles to go with you to every gig just to unload them from your Pinto. Look, and your Pinto won the station wagon. So today we're gonna talk about. Let's talk about the 99 John Shore. The 99 John Shore is a very unique bass. This bass is really unique. Why you say that? Because basically it's maple. Look, basically, it's maple on ash. All right, and it's probably a lot of basses out there like have maple and ash, but probably in the color series. What makes this unique is it's a natural. Look, it's a natural. There's no way you make it. It's a natural. All right, this one is full natural. All right, that's my eye catcher for this bass. I want to tell you how this bass sounds. It has its own voice, but it still sounds like a real 70s Fender Jazz. All right, I didn't want to put the exotic pickups in it, or the OBMs as they call them, or OEMs, or what you want to call them. The new kinds of pickups. I went back to a builder that knows old vintage stuff. So I went to Lindy, and Lindy had these, made for me. So I threw these in there, So it gives the bass the vintage voice with a little bit of booty. Look, actually a lot of booty, but it still keeps it in the vintage vibe. So let's hear this. First of all, let's make sure it's tuned because it's 99 degrees out here, and I don't want to be the one to go like, "Oh, dude, did you tune your bass, man?" Okay, when you hear that, means I'm on point. All right, so we brought the amp down a lot, so so it won't be so over boisterous. We're gonna start with everything in the middle. You hear that? Hear that clicking noise? He decided to come over here when I decided to make this video. I can't stop. And he's chirping, and he's pecking wood. He's a woodpecker. I'm in the woods, y'all. Y'all should know that. All right, so let's go back to the bass. Everything's in detail, and this is what you got. If I turn everything off, you would get this sound. See, I got the amp turned down really, really low, so you can hear what the bass sounds like, and not what the amp sounds like. Rear pickup. Front pickup. Alright, and back to both pickups again. Okay, so if you listen to that, this John Shore, it sounds very natural. Everything about it has a natural taste, right? It doesn't sound like it's glassy. It doesn't sound like it's over twanged. It doesn't sound like it's booty, double boo boo booty heavy. I said double boo boo, double boo boo heavy. That's a new one, double boo boo. It ain't double boo boo heavy. It's right in the middle. You want basses to sound amazing, but you want to be able to control them from where here and not here. That's why I turn everything down here. Even on my settings, are turned beyond this way of D10. You can't talk when I'm talking, okay? Mr. Woodpecker. I love him though, man. You should see him. He's beautiful. All right, so get back to this. So let's go D10 in the mids area. So you hear the naturalness of the bass, right? Because there's nothing else on. But the mids bring out the whole body tone of the bass. Now, this bass I said quipped. This bass is equipped with neck through the body. All right, I didn't go neck through the body because sometimes the tones of the body is a little much for me, and a lot of people don't even realize that. It's like, oh, I just sand mine through the body, man, because it sounds better. But what are you listening for? You don't know what you're listening for. So if you just say it sounds better, that means that you have no idea what that does. I use it like top loader because top loader evens out the expression of the bass. When you take it through the body, you have the body, the bridge, and the neck to deal with. If you don't know your tones, then you have an issue. The issue is, why my bass don't sound like yours? Oh, that's because I got different wood. That's all they can think about. Most people are like, that's what most people say. That's all I can, I just got different woods and that's why mine sound better. I'm gonna change the pickups. I'm gonna change this, and it's like, dude, leave everything like it is. This has the original pickup, original preamp, but the Lindy Fralin pickups. Ask me why I went with Lindy Fralin. Well, like Lindy Fralin is a naturalist. All right, he's a naturalist. That means that he don't go after the top end, and he don't go after the super bottom. Although he can do that if you want him to. But basically, I just want him to give me natural. I'll pick up the rest of the stuff through my fingers. Right? So now let's go. Remember, no treble is on. That's what this bass is sounding like. So now we're gonna go D10 on bass. Check this out. If you ever talk to an old jazz bass player, he would say, "Oh, I don't know, I don't like all that high sizzly stuff, that sizzly stuff. I don't want all that stuff." But if you listen to an old Fender Jazz, I mean an old one, like 60s up to 77, or even 78, I would say 78, you would hear that top end coming from, it's a natural top end. It is not a synthetic top end. Some basses now, the pickups and the preamp makes it sound very synthetic, very high-endish and clippish or twanglish, and all this sounds good naturalist. I'm just making up stuff. Naturalist. All this stuff sounds good naturalist until you hear it go to tape, and then when it goes to tape, you got to start tweaking because it's too much of something happening, and you didn't have no control over it because you didn't try to control it. It's a long story, but the more natural your bass is, the better your bass and fingers will actually pull the sound out and send it across to us and let us hear it. Now, not saying that this bass won't get sizzled. Let's take the high end and take it across the top. Watch this. D10. But you still hear that bottom, right? And it's cleaned it up a lot, but it ain't twanging. That's not twanging. That's even killed right there. That's what you want right there in your bass. You want that even kill, that twanginess. It gets lost. It gets lost in the wave mix. If you don't understand wave mix, you'll understand it when you hear your tape back. You're like, let me try that again. And then you start retoning your bass. When you could have done it the first time and got the original sound of your bass. Now, let's take bass to 3/4. This is the bottom of the bass, not the bottom of the amp. The bottom on the amp, I don't want that. So I got to pretty much be past D10. Well, yeah, let's see. Yep, it's on this side of D10 because I don't want the bottom. The bass will give me the bottom I need. If I crank it all the way up, I still get this. And to me, that's too much bottom. So I come back to the bottom again and bring it to 9 o'clock. Watch this. Now, I know up close, this sounds amazing. The bottom sounds amazing up close. It doesn't sound like it's booming out there and hit somebody in the front row and give them a heart attack. I don't want that. I want the bass to sound natural up close to me. So I turn the bottom 9 o'clock or even 8:30. And let the bottom work from my bass, not from the amp. So if I pull the bottom back a little bit, I'm hearing the natural of the mids and the treble. Okay? And that's the greatest thing about this bass. I'm not going to go all the way through this bass because this bass has great qualities. I want to get to her. a bass that a lot of people have really never even heard of or seen. When they saw me playing it in church, they was like, "What kind of bass is that? Is that a P bass or a jazz bass or is this something you made?" Or and this is the second one I ever owned. This one right here, but I think even this one is the best one I ever owned. Not because it's only about 100 to 200 of them made ever in this color, but because it just plays well and it's rosewood. So let's check it out. Now, when we talk about the Fender Precision bass, we're talking about a whole complete new different animal. We're talking about precision with a double jazz pull, right? Those are two humbuckers, all right? And the preamp is light, but the greatest thing for me was the first one I had was a maple neck, was maple on maple. This one is maple on rosewood. I want you to hear the difference. A lot of people don't get the difference of rosewood. A lot of people are like, I don't like rosewood because it doesn't twang. It doesn't have that sizzle on it. Yeah, that's because your ear is high fried. Okay, when your ear is high fried, you want everything in your house to sound like, you know, a 45 when you first put it on. Look, a dirty 45 when you first put it on. That's all you want. You want that kind of noise going through your amp and your head. That's why you go with the highest horn. And a lot of people, if you didn't have a horn, you wouldn't even play your bass. Remember the last thing I said? A lot of people, if you didn't have a horn in your amp, you wouldn't play your bass. So, same settings, nothing different. What I would like to do is come back on the treble and make that 9 o'clock. Alright, so you got the treble at 9 o'clock, you got your bass at 9 o'clock. Why? Because this particular bass carries a little bit more high end. I don't know the reason why. It's not a John Shore era and nothing like that. It's just Fender impression of a PJ bass. That's my opinion. But it's a deluxe model, and to me, I think as far as the deluxe they made, this is the best. All right, so we're gonna turn everything off and just hit a pickup. Now, everybody know when you get a PJ setup, everything is completely different. What do you mean? Everything sounds different. Everything sounds it's to me, I'm going to say this, it's going to sound crazy. It's like when you take a North Carolinian that's been in North Carolina all their life and you take them to New York City and they live there for 20 years. When they come back, they talk very proper. Look, I know, because I know, listen, I know. My folks did that. So I'm telling you what this bass sounds like. This bass sounds like it talks very proper. It has a very proper sounding voice. So we're gonna go with the rear pickup first. Nothing is on, just the rear pickup itself. No bass is on, no trebles on. Okay. Okay. Front pickup. DJ setup. Very, very kind of proper sounding language. Uh, that's best I can say, man. Proper sounding language. It's between a jazz and a P. So when they get together, they don't talk the same way. The P normally talks a little deeper, and the jazz is a little lighter because it's in the back. But when you got double jazzes in the back, it can sometimes try to take over the P. So you get that very unique sound. Yep, 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 yep. But that kind of yep, yep. Kind of crisp, kind of Betty Crocker. I don't know, man. I was just making up stuff. All right, so look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the mids and put them at D10. Watch this. That is so pretty to me. That is so pretty sound. Alright, so let's take the bass, put the bass at D10. So you got mids at D10, bass at D10. You're not changing the voice of it, you're just bringing stuff up and softening it up a little bit. I wish y'all could see him. He's right on that tree right there. So we're gonna bring the treble up to D10. Watch. Okay. Now you heard the way it sounds with everything in D10. I don't really have to go past D10 because it's a very monstrous sounding bass. But what I like to do is pull back on the mids a little bit. And that changed the whole voicing of the bass. Watch. Now you got to remember, I'm voicing everything from my bass, not from the amp. Yeah, baby. I was gonna get there. Now this, when I get into the thumping thing, I wanted to pull the mids up a little bit because it's like because it's so proper sounding. I need to bring the mids. I need to bring the body up and make it talk a little bit more country. And then I want to bring the treble back. So I got the mids a little bit past D10, and that voices a little differently. So now I have to go pull back on my treble and pull back on my bass, because now my body is coming up because of that double humbucker is picking up everything from the rear up. Watch. this bass is that whatever you do, whether it's slides or treble slides, trebling, I call it trembling slides, it will over enunciate those trembling and treble slides. Um, that's what I like about this bass. It does, it takes the expression that you're trying to pull out and it over enunciates them. I'm using some really big words today, and that's without Hootie being out here. Some really big words, and they fitting. Look, they fitting. I mean, they fitting. All right, so okay, so look. All right, so that is the reason why I use this bass. Now, between this bass and that bass, and my old school jazzes, that's pretty much where I am. Now, when I want to go boutique, I go another direction. But when I want to stay old school, I go here, and possibly my old Fender Jazz 78, all right, or 70, 75. I got a tendency to lean between the 75 and 78. But if I really want to go deep throat, old school, I go to 69. But these are the things that you have to put into your complex mind. It's like, do you want to keep running after something that's already been invented? All right, so why not go back to what's been invented, take that and incorporate it into your everyday living instead of keep running after, hey, that one's pretty, I'm gonna get that one because it's still jazz, but it's got a certain name on it. Look, man, go back to Fender, and I'm not here to promote Fender because they don't even know who I am. Let's get that straight. Fender has no idea who I am, right? So I'm not promoting Fender. I'm promoting the product that makes me sound like I want to sound. It voices my opinion of my mind into your ear correctly, the way I hear it, right? And that's what you want in your hand. You want basses that actually throws your opinion from your mind and your heart and your fingers to the minds of those waiting. Y'all better write that one down, because that one that took me out. I won't be able to say that again. Well, you see, the minds of the thoughts of my mind, my heart, and my fingers, and projected to those who are waiting. That's not what I said the first time, but it's close. All right, so once again, guys, I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank all the people who come by my YouTube, check me out, and go like, man, I just found you, dude. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, man. Listen, folks, I'm here for you. That's what I'm here. Don't cost you anything to call me. And the information I'm going to give you don't cost you anything either. All right? So it's all free. God gave it to me. I'm going to give it to you. All right? Don't cost you nothing. All I ask you to do is one thing. It's just pray for me and my queen and our home in the Hobo Depot. That costs you nothing. All right? 5 minutes of your time. Maybe 10. All right? So once again, guys, I pray for you every morning. Once again, keep praying for the Hobo Depot. Keep praying for the Queen and I, that we will continue on being a watering hole for all the musicians across the world, not just bass players, but all musicians across the world. Also, I'm going to throw this out there. Let me give you this. Everybody see that? Can you see it? All right, it's Johnny Lee Long Band and Band. It's called, this CD is called The Walk. All right, for the rest of this month, this is now July. All right, and it's about to come to an end. And I've been promoting this CD all week or all month, asking you guys. I got 41,000 subscribers. Asking you guys to please take one song off this, and then get your local radio station or local internet station to play one song that you like off this album. That's all I ask. Next month, it would be another bass player, his production of his voice, and I will do that every month. Until people realize, wait a minute, bass players are producers too? These guys can play bass and produce a whole album, and it sounds like an album and not like a bass solo. That's what you gotta go out. You gotta let other producers know that we don't only think bass, we think every instrument. I know I do. I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm speaking for me. So once again, guys, thank you for allowing us to be here today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be in front of you. And the last thing I want to say to everybody, I'm sorry Hootie is not on the set, but he is in the shop. he's got a job now, and I want his job to be wonderful for the rest of his life. He needs to learn stuff, other than going out chasing women. Shut the car off, folks. Charlie Long. Peace out. Done.